ሰላም እንዴት ናችሁ የዩቲዩብ ቻናል ቤተሰቦች በዚህ ቪዲዮ በቦንጋ ዩኒቨርሲቲ በቢዝነስ እና ኢኮኖሚክስ ኮሌጅ በኢኮኖሚክስ ዲፓርትመንት የወጡ የሞዴል ጥያቄዎችን ከነመልሶቻቸው በዚህ ቪዲዮ ላይ ለሞር ሪፈር እንድታደርጉ ኢን ዲቴል ሳይሆን መልሱን ብቻ ነው በዚህ ቪዲዮ ላይ ማሳያችሁ ዘን ኢን ዲቴል ገብታችሁ በራሳችሁ ታነቡታላችሁ ማለት ነው። እዛ ቦታ ላይ ዲቴል ኤክስፕላኔሽን በራሳችሁ ነው የምትሰሩት። ይሄን ቪዲዮ ሲጀምሩ ላይክ አድርጋችሁ እንድትጀምሩ ለዩቲዩብ ቻናል አዲስ ከሆናችሁ ሰብስክራይብ እንድታደርጉና ቪዲዮቹ ላይ ኮሜንት እንድትጽፉ ቪዲዮ በጣም ጠቃሚ ስለሆነ ለጓደኞቻችሁም ሼር እንድታደርጉ ምክንያቱም እነዚህ አይነት ሞዴል ጥያቄዎቹ ለመውጫ ፈተና ዝግጅት ጊዜ በጣም ስለሚጠቅሙ ፈተናው እንዴት እንደሚሆን የፈተና ይዘት ምን ሊመስል እንደሚችል ካሁኑ ራሳችን ለማዘጋጀት በጣም ጠቃሚ ስለሆኑ ጓደኞቻችሁም በዛ ልክ እንድትዘጋጁ ቪዲዮቹን ሼር እያደረጋችሁ ለጓደኞቻችሁም እንድታደርሱ እላለሁ። አሁን ወደ ጥያቄዎቹ ገባለሁ። Question number 1. Which one of the following measures of poverty is used in empirical work because of its sensitivity to the depth and severity of poverty? A. Total poverty gap. B. The Foster-Greer-Torbek index. C. Head count. D. Average income shortfall. The correct answer for this question is B. The Foster-Greer-Torbek index is the measure of poverty used in empirical work because of its sensitivity to the depth and severity of poverty. So B is correct answer. Next, what does the slope coefficient in simple regression model represents? A. The change in the dependent variable for every one unit change in the independent variable. B. The change in the independent variable for every one unit change in independent variable. C. The correlation between the dependent and the independent variables. D. The standard error of the estimate. So the correct answer for this question is A. The slope coefficient in simple regression model represents the change in the dependent variable for every one unit change in the independent variable. Question number 3. Which one of the following factors would adversely affect economic growth? A. Stable political environment. B. Technological innovation. C. Abundance of resource. D. Unstable general price level. So from this, the one which affect the economic growth of a country adversely is unstable general price level. This is the correct answer. Question number 4. Which one of the following is not the component of the Harrod-Domar growth model? A. Saving. B. Institutions. C. Investments. D. Foreign aid. So from this, which one is not the component of the Harrod-Domar growth model? So the correct answer for the question is institutions. This is not the component of Harrod-Domar growth model, but the others are the components of Harrod-Domar growth model. Next, question number 5. The new growth theory come to contradict the neoclassical theorist view by assuming that technological progress. According to this theory, which one of the following is not candidate for the source of such progress? A. New ideas. B. Economic openness. C. Physical capital formation. D. Human capital formation. So according to this theory, the one which is not candidate for the source of such progress is physical capital formation. So C is the correct answer. Next, modern development economics arose A. First in 19th century to study the development problems of Eastern Europe. B. in the late of 18th century as a new branch of economics. C. In the late of 1940s to study the development problem of the third world. D. None of the above. The correct answer for this question is C. In the late 1940s to study the development problem of the third world. So modern development economics arose in the late 1940s to study the development problems of the third world. Next, Simon Kuznets isolated 6 characteristic features manifested in the growth process of almost every developing nation. Which one of the following is not correct about his finding about those countries? A. Low rate of economic structural transformation. B. Limited international speed of economic growth. C. High rates of total factor productivity increase. D. High rates of social, political, and ideological transformation. So the one which is not correct about this, the Simon Kuznets finding about this, the countries or these developed countries under study was A. Low rates of economic structural transformation. So this is not correct about his finding about these countries. Next, which of the following characteristics are most likely found in developing countries? A. High population growth rate. B. Large number of people living in poverty. C. Very traditional method of agricultural production. D. All of the above. So the correct answer for this question is all of the above are characteristics most likely found in developing countries. So these all are the characteristics of this developing countries, or they all characterize the economic growth of this developing country, or they all found in developing countries. Next, the low-income economies generally have the following, except A. Deficient infrastructure. B. A per capita GNP of more than $900. C. Low life expectancies. D. Low saving. So from this the listed options, which one not characterizes low-income economies? So the correct answer for this question is B. This doesn't characterize low-income economies. So these low-income economies generally have deficient infrastructures, low life expectancies, and low savings. But as a per capita GNP of more than $900 is not characteristics, or it doesn't characterize these low-income economies. Next, the immigration of highly skilled people from developing countries is known as A. The brain drain. B. Human capital deterioration. C. Productivity. D. Labor degradation. So the immigration of highly skilled people from developing countries is known as the brain drain. Next, the period of rapid population growth between a pre-industrial stable population characterized by high birth and death rate and later modern stable population marked by low fertility and mortality is known as A. Demographic transition. B. Population maturity. C. Demobilizing population. D. Birth-death transformation. So the situation is known as demographic transition. Next, which of the following is not a possible cause of high fertility rates and rapid population growth? A higher labor force growth rate and higher unemployment. B. Increased urbanization and congestion. C. Increasing returns to natural resources with a direct impact on average food consumption. D. A working population that must support a larger number of dependents. So the correct answer for this question is C. Increasing return to natural resource with a direct impact on average food consumption is not a possible cause of high fertility rate and rapid population growth. Next, which one of the following is correct about Rostow's economic stage? A. The preconditions for takeoff, the drive to maturity, and the age of creative destruction. B. The traditional society, the preconditions for takeoff, the drive to maturity, and the age of high mass consumption. C. The preconditions for consumption, the replication, the drive to maturity, and the age of high mass consumption. D. The learning curve, the age of high mass consumption, post takeoff, and the drive to maturity. So the correct answer for this question is B. The traditional society, the preconditions for takeoff, the drive to maturity, and the age of high mass consumption is the correct about this Rostow's economic stage. Next, suppose you want to predict a person's income based on their level of education. What should be the dependent variable in this scenario? A. Income. B. Education. C. Both income and education. D. Neither income nor education. The correct answer for this question is when we suppose that we want to predict a person's income based on their level of education, and in this case the dependent variable is income. Next, in multiple regression analysis, what's the dependent variable? A. The variable that is being predicted. B. The variable that is being manipulated. C. The variable that is being held constant. D. The variable that is not relevant to the analysis. So in case of multiple regression analysis, the dependent variable is the variable that is being predicted. Next, which of the following is not a requirement for using multiple regression analysis? A. The dependent variable must be continuous. B. The independent variable must be continuous or categorical. C. There must be a linear relationship between the dependent variable and each independent variable. D. The sample size must be at least certain. So from this, the one which is not a requirement for using multiple regression is the sample size must be at least 30. This is not the requirement for using multiple regression analysis. The others are the requirements. Next question. Which of the following is a correct statement about multicollinearity in multiple regression analysis? A. It occurs when there is a perfect linear relationship between two or more independent variables. B. It doesn't affect the estimate of the coefficients. C. It increases the standard error of the coefficients. D. It decreases the R-squared value. So from this, the one which is correct about multicollinearity in multiple regression analysis is C. It increases the standard error of the coefficients. Question number 19. Which of the following is a symptom of heteroscedasticity? A. Residuals are normally distributed. B. Residuals have a constant variance. C. Residuals have a non-constant variance. D. Residuals are perfectly correlated with the dependent variable. So from this, which is the symptom of heteroscedasticity, is the residuals have a non-constant variance. Next, which of the following is a common method for detecting multicollinearity in regression analysis? A. T-test. B. Variance inflation factor or VIF. C. F-test. D. ANOVA. So from these tools, we use variance inflation factor for detecting multicollinearity in regression analysis. So B is the correct answer. Next, suppose you have a system of two equations with two indigenous variables and one exogenous variable. Which method would you use to estimate this model? A. Two-stage least square. B. Ordinary least square. C. Three-stage least square. D. Maximum likelihood estimation. So if we suppose that we have a system of two equations with two indigenous variables and one exogenous variable, we use two-stage least square method to estimate the model. Next question, what is autocorrelation in time series analysis? A. The correlation between two different time series variables. B. The correlation between an observation and its lagged variables. C. The correlation between an observation and its forecasted values. D. The correlation between two different cross-sectional units. So the autocorrelation in time series analysis is the correlation between an observation and its lagged values. So B is the correct answer. Next question, question number 23. Which of the following statement is true about the Hausman test for choosing between fixed and random effects? A. It tests whether the individual specific effects are correlated with the regressors. B. It tests whether the individual specific effects are uncorrelated with the regressors. C. It tests whether the individual specific effects are constant over time. D. It tests whether the individual specific effects are randomly distributed. So the correct answer for this question is the statement which is true about the Hausman test for choosing between fixed and random effect is it tests whether the individual specific effects are correlated with the regressor. So A is the correct answer. Question number 24. Suppose you have panel data on the wage of workers in different industries over several years, and you want to estimate the effect of education on wage while controlling for industry-specific effects. Which type of model would be more appropriate for this scenario? A. Fixed effect. B. Random effect. C. Both would be equally appropriate. D. Neither would be appropriate. So with this scenario, or the model which most appropriately fit for this situation is fixed effect. This fixed effect model is more appropriate for this scenario which is listed here. Next, question number 25. Which of the following is a disadvantage of international trade? A. Increased competition. B. Reduced economic growth. C. Increased specialization. D. Increased unemployment. So from this, which one is a disadvantage of international trade? So the one which is disadvantage of international trade is increased unemployment. So this is the disadvantage of international trade. Next, which of the following is an example of a tariff? A tax on imported goods. B, a tax on exported goods. C, a tax on all goods. D, a tax on luxury goods. So from this, which one is best example of tariff? The answer for this question is a tax on imported good is an example of tariff. Question number 27. Which international trade theory emphasizes the role of factor endowments such as labor and natural resources in determining a country's comparative advantage? A. Absolute advantage theory. B. Comparative advantage theory. C. Factor endowment theory. D. product life cycle theory? So the correct answer for this question is factor endowment theory is an international trade theory which emphasizes the role of factor endowments such as labor and natural resource in determining a country's comparative advantage. Next question, number 28. According to the product life cycle theory, which stage of the product life cycle is characterized by high demand in the domestic market and low demand in foreign markets? A. Introduction stage. B. Growth stage. C. Maturity stage. D. Decline stage. So this from the product life cycle, or according to product life cycle theory, product life cycle characterized by high demand in domestic market and low demand in foreign market is at introduction stage. So at this introduction stage, the product life cycle is characterized by high demand in domestic market and low demand in foreign markets. Question number 29. Which of the following best describes the gold standard? A. An international agreement to fix exchange rate between countries. B. The use of gold as a universal medium of exchange. C. A monetary system in which a country's currency is pegged to a specific amount of gold. D. An international organization that oversees monetary policy. So from this, the statement which best describes the gold standard is a monetary system in which a country's currency is pegged to a specific amount of gold. This best describes the gold standard. Next question, number 30. What's the difference between a fixed exchange rate and floating exchange rate? A fixed exchange rate is set by the market while a floating exchange rate is set by the government. B. A fixed exchange rate is determined by supply and demand while a floating exchange rate is set by central banks. C. A fixed exchange rate is set by international agreement while floating exchange rate is determined by market forces. D. A fixed exchange rate is determined by the value of country's gold reserves while a floating exchange rate is determined by the value of its currency on the open market. So from this statement, the one which best describes the difference between a fixed exchange rate and a floating exchange rate is the statement at C. A fixed exchange rate is set by international agreement, while a floating exchange rate is determined by market forces. Next question, number 31. What's the purpose of special drawing rights SDRs in the international monetary system? A. To provide a reserve currency for member countries. B. To promote free trade among member countries. C. To regulate international capital flows. D. To provide short-term loans to developing countries. So from this, the purpose of this SDR in the international monetary system is A. To provide a reserve currency for member countries. Next, question number 32. Which of the following organization is responsible for the international monetary system? A. The World Trade Organization. B. The International Monetary Fund. C. The International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. D. The United Nations. So from this, the responsible body for international monetary system is International Monetary Fund. Next question, number 33. Which one of the following best define balance of payments? A. A record of all the financial transactions that take place between the country and the rest of the world. B. A record of all the import and export of the country. C. A record of all the loans that a country has received from other countries. D. None of this. So the statement which best defines balance of payment is a record of all the financial transactions that take place between the country and the rest of the world. In this statement is best describes balance of payments. Next, question number 34. Which one of the following is given less emphasis on the economic analysis of a project? A. Maximizing national income regardless of the receiver. B. Contribution of the project to social welfare. C. The project should be profitable enough and able to contribute to the growth of national income. D. None of the above. The correct answer for this question is D. None of the above. None of these listed given less emphasis on economic analysis of a project. So for all, this high emphasis is given on analyzing the economic analysis of a project. Next, question number 35. Which one of the following is not an instrument to carry out monetary policy? A. Open market operations. B. Change in the discount rate. C. Change in reserve requirements. D. Government expenditure. So from this, which one is not an instrument to carry out monetary policy? So the correct answer for this question is D. Government expenditure is not an instrument to carry out monetary policy. Question number 36. The type of unemployment which occurs when there is a mismatch between job available and the skill of job seeker is A. Structural unemployment. B. Frictional unemployment. C. Seasonal unemployment. D. Cyclical unemployment. So in this scenario, if there is mismatch between job available and the skill of job seeker, this type of unemployment is structural unemployment. Question number 37. Effective monitoring of a project helps to all of the following except A. Anticipating deviations from implementing the plan. B. Analyzing the emerging problems and mitigating them. C. Taking corrective actions to problems faced by the ongoing project. D. Diverting the objective of the project from being machined. So from this, which one is not the function of or the importance of effective monitoring of a project? So the correct answer for this question is D. This diverting the objective of the project from being machined is not the function or the importance of effective monitoring of a project, but the others are the importance of effective monitoring of a project. Next, question 38. Which one of the following is used to measure whether activities need adjustment in the course of intervention to improve the use of resources and the achievement of the desired outcomes? A. Performance monitoring. B. Impact monitoring. C. Change evaluation. D. Outcome evaluation. Therefore, the correct answer for this question is A. This performance monitoring is used to measure whether activities need adjustment in the course of intervention to improve the use of resources and the achievement of the desired outcomes. Question number 39. In macroeconomic policy, the time it takes for policymakers to check whether problems occur in the economy is A. Impact lag. B. Recognition lag. C. Political lag. D. Implementation lag. So the correct answer for this question is in macroeconomic policy, the time it takes for policymakers to check whether problems occur in the economy is known as recognition lag. Question number 40. Which of the following is not true regarding the Harrod-Domar model of economic growth? A. To grow fast, economies should save and invest certain proportion of their national income. B. Countries with higher rate of saving will grow faster than otherwise. C. The lower the capital output ratio, the lower the rate of economic growth will be. D. The lower the capital output ratio, the higher will be the growth of the economy. So from the listed one, the one which is not true regarding the Harrod-Domar model of economic growth is the lower the capital output ratio, the lower the rate of economic growth will be. So this is incorrect or not true regarding Harrod-Domar model of economic growth. Question number 41. Suppose that a hypothetical developing economy has capital output ratio K, which is 5%, and its yearly saving rate, which is 50% of GDP, and then the growth rate of this economy will be A, 0.33% per year, B, 3% per year, C, 5% per year, D, 15% per year. So you have to analyze this by using the given parameters, and if you brought this, the growth rate of the economy will be 3%, you are correct. Question number 42. Which one of the following is an example of impact lag of microeconomic policy? A, the government decides to increase spending to stimulate the economy. B, the government announces a tax cut to boost consumer spending. C, the government realizes that the economy is in a recession. D, the government decides to raise interest rate to combat inflation. So the correct answer for this question, the best example of impact lag of macroeconomic policy is when the government decides to raise interest rate to combat inflation. So this is the best example of impact lag of macroeconomic policy. Question number 43. Which one of the following is the main purpose of project monitoring and control? A, to identify project risks and constraints. B, to allocate project resources and budget. C, to track project progress and performance. D, to define the project scope and objectives. So from this, which one is the main purpose of project monitoring and control? So, and when we are monitoring and controlling the project, the purpose is to track the project progress and its performance. Question number 44. In the case of inferior goods, the substitution and income effect of a price increase will A, both decrease the quantity of the good demanded, B, both increase the quantity of the good demanded, C, the substitution effect will increase the quantity of the good demanded while the income effect will decrease the quantity of the good demanded, D, the substitution effect will decrease the quantity of the good consumed while the income effect will increase the quantity of the good consumed. The correct answer for this question is D. In case of inferior goods, the substitution effect will decrease the quantity of the good consumed while the income effect will increase the quantity of the good consumed. Next, what is the difference between risk and uncertainty? A, risk involves known probabilities while uncertainty involves unknown probabilities. B, risk involves unknown probabilities while uncertainty involves known probabilities. C, risk and uncertainty are the same thing. D, none of this. Therefore, the main difference between risk and uncertainty is risk involves known probabilities, whereas uncertainty involves unknown probabilities. This is the basic difference between risk and uncertainty. So this is the video in this part, and I will come with next part of this model exit exam, which is proposed by Bonga University College of Business and Economics and Economics Department, and I have 55 questions remaining from 100 questions, and I will upload them on next video part. And until that, have a nice preparation time for your exit exam and for your class exams also, and don't forget to share the video for your friends because it's important. Thank you for watching this.